I mean, you already told me a little bit, but how much did it cost you to outfit that thing?
Totally outfit, I would say probably rough number 50. And they were starting to realize how much stuff was costing. It's like, is it really worth it? You know, and at some point it's not. Yep. And you want to be upfront and honest with the customer. So, hey, this may not be worth it. This may not be your best option. I mean, I was young and dumb and blew everything.
All right, welcome back to another episode of the Mind Your Own Business podcast. I'm attorney Jerry Parisi, and with me today is Jeremy Mixon with Northeast Georgia Detailing. Welcome, Jeremy.
Thank you.
How you doing today?
Doing good.
Awesome. And obviously your business is a detailing business, so you detail vehicles. Can you tell us a little bit about what your business does?
So yeah, I detail vehicles, you know, one-off customers, recurring clients. We do mainly inside and outside details, you know, deal with like just basic cleanings into a little bit more of protection as well. We're not handling, you know, like ceramic coatings just yet, but we're kind of handling more of the, you know, cars dirty, kids, things like that. You know, making your car look back to how it was when you bought it.
Yeah. So something that most people with kids or, you know, that drive a car, their daily driver, they need it refreshed, cleaned up. Okay.
Yep.
Tell me about what sort of services you do on the inside. Do you just vacuum it out, or do you do some sort of
I hit nooks, crannies, everything. I mean, we're getting in the air vents, we're pulling cup holders out. I mean, we're folding seats up. Anywhere I can reach or have a tool to reach, I'm gonna try to get it.
Gotcha.
It's just spending time on it. I mean, your average vehicle that somebody drives every day can take me anywhere from hour and a half to 3 hours, depending on how bad it is. Kids can, you know, do damage on vehicles.
Yeah.
My kids will do damage on my wife's car.
Yeah, I was going to say 3 hours. I don't know if you could do my wife's van in 3 hours because we got 3 little boys under 10 and it smells like something died in there sometimes.
You'd be surprised, you know, and there's different levels and different products I'll use for like smells or for if the seat's stained or stuff like that. And it really depends on what the customer wants at the end. If, you know, if they're not, you know, they don't want it back to perfect because their no kids are going to tear it right back up, you know, then we can get to a certain point. Or if they want, you know, we're about to sell it, we want to get it back to as close as
showroom clean.
If we can get it, then we can get it there.
So do you do like shampoo and stuff like that?
Not on everyone. That's more of, you know, one of those things that
if somebody wants
it, you know, or somebody has bad stains, stuff like that, we can do that.
Gotcha. Tell me about the washing the outside of the vehicle. I've seen, you know, I used to detail cars, but I didn't. And then I watch all these Instagram videos of people doing it like really well.
Yeah.
Right. And so I used to always spray it down with water first, but now they're saying, you know, don't do that. Hit it with the soap so that it dissolves the dirt so it doesn't scratch up your paint.
And it really depends on how bad the vehicle is. I mean, of course, you want to try to get as much of the dirt off. You know, you don't have to pre-wash what people call a vehicle every time. I normally start with the wheels, and that's kind of a industry standard that I've seen is people start with the wheels. I mean, but we're getting into the wheel wells, getting to the barrel of the wheel. So we can get in between your spokes. There's places you're not going to see.
Yeah.
But
it's got all that brake dust.
It's got brake dust, and that quickly eats those wheels.
Yeah.
And you'll get to a point where it's hard to fix.
So do you go from bottom up then, or from top down after you do the wheels, or how do you do it?
So I'll go in. If I have to pre-wash, I'll foam the whole vehicle, let it sit.
You said foam the vehicle?
Foam the vehicle. So put the soap in a foam cannon, foam it, let it dwell in the vehicle for a little while, and then rinse it off. And that usually gets, you know, loosens your dirt, brings off the vehicle before you do a contact wash. So contact wash is I'll go in, foam a vehicle again with a different type of soap. It's kind of a pH neutral soap. So it's safer for your vehicle, safer for ceramic coatings, vehicles that are already ceramic coated, and then go in with a contact wash. With this Georgia heat, it can be a little rough sometimes too. You know, you'll see the Instagram reels of people foaming the whole vehicle down and doing it. For me, at least, you know, it's hard to do that and not have soap dry.
It dries up.
It's just so hot, you know, especially being mobile. It can get to that point where it's like it dries on the vehicle. It's too much, you know, or you're just moving too fast and you'll end up missing spots. So I'll start at top of the vehicle and kind of do the roof, back, front glass, you know, if it's got a back trunk, something like that, the hood. Try not to do like the full back of the vehicle because a lot of times that's the dirtiest. And then I'll try to work from the one side that's in the shade and work around to the sunny side of being in my last section. That's just to keep from anything drying on the vehicle, creating water spots, any issues like that. And then I use a paint sealant. It's almost like wax. To me, wax that you put on your vehicle, like the paste wax you buy at the auto parts store, doesn't last as long to me as a paint sealant does, just because in the Georgia heat, if I were to take that can of wax and sit it in the sun, what's it going to do? It's going to melt. Well, it's going to melt. I mean, it's just melt from the sun. So I like using paint sealants. That's kind of a thing that a lot of guys are going towards now. And
what's the difference?
So it's more of it's a different chemistry to it. Can't quote it right now, but there's different chemistry to it compared to a wax, and it's a lot easier to put on.
Okay.
I put it in a foam can. I have some that I put in a foam cannon. I have some that last a little bit longer that I have in a spray bottle that you spray on the vehicle, and I rinse from the bottom up so it spreads evenly, and then rinse right off. Where wax, you're actually contacting the vehicle and putting it on the vehicle.
Yeah, I remember waxing my vehicles when I was younger.
This
would take you half the day, right?
Yeah, and this right here helps me dry the vehicle as well.
Okay.
So if you normally wash your vehicle and it doesn't have any protection on it, you'll see it's kind of like a big sheet of water. Like you look at your hood, it's all water.
Yeah.
There's no beads to it. There's no hydrophobics to it. So it's harder to dry. If you were to take a drying towel and try to dry it, it would just streak. With the paint sealants, it helps it bead, gives it some protection, and it makes my life easier when we dry it as well.
Okay.
So,
how expensive are those paint sealants? Are they pretty affordable? Is it?
It depends what depends what you're looking for. So I try to buy everything in bulk and stuff that's dilutable. So I can buy a gallon of it that will last me. A gallon probably can last me 6 months at the rate I go. It may last some people a month, but it's over $100 for that gallon jug of it. But I can mix it into a foam cannon. Gotcha. There's some stuff you can buy at the auto parts store that's similar to it that you can buy for $20 in a bottle. You can buy the one that I use. It gives you 3 months protection. Gives that hydrophobic for around 3 months, depending on how you drive and the conditions you drive in. You can buy that online for probably $30 to $50 in just a bottle. So, or you can buy it in a bigger container as well.
And is the stuff that you're using, is it different? Is it better than the stuff that you can buy at the auto parts store down the road?
Some of the stuff I use, you can buy at the auto parts store. But everything I buy, you can buy. You can find it on Amazon and stuff like that. And I tell people all the time, there's people that I find in situations where they just can't afford a certain level, where they can't afford certain stuff just because money's tight. I get it. Mm-hmm. And I will recommend, hey, these are the products I use. So you can buy it in a smaller amount. Sometimes you have to buy where you have to dilute it. So, if you don't want to dilute something, here's what else I would recommend. So, you can go on Amazon a lot of times and buy just about anything nowadays.
Yeah.
And so a lot of these companies that are the big name companies, you can buy their products on Amazon, or, I have friends in Atlanta that are distributors for different companies, and you can go there and buy it.
What brands or what products do you recommend? Can you tell us?
For like the average consumer, everybody was on the chemical guys kick for a little while.
Chemical guys?
And they're really good at marketing to me. And this is just more my opinion and what I, from my little bit of research with it, and then also talking to some other people. They're really good at marketing. They're really good at diluting their stuff down and just changing the name of something and putting another product.
Gotcha.
So you can buy those, and there are some of their products that are really good. For the average person who just wants to keep up with their stuff, I would suggest Shine Supply.
Shine Supply.
So they're a U.S. company. It's got a great story behind it. There's a distributor in Chamblee, detailerproducts.com. It's a really good friend of mine, Justin Bonnet. And for the average person who wants to keep their vehicle clean on their own, they have a little bit something that does everything. And you can buy it in a smaller container that may fit your needs.
Gotcha. That
will help, something you can keep on your shelf, something that's easier for you to use, but still gives you that quality product.
Cool. How do you price your services? Do you sort of figure out, by how long it's going to take you? Is it a value sort of pricing? Is it time based?
A lot of times for me, it's time based. How long is it going to take me? Mm-hmm. What they want. And then how bad the vehicle is. If it's something that's going to take me, I've had vehicles where milk's been sitting in the carpet and stained, and I'm like, this is going to take me forever to get it out.
Yeah.
So I have to price them that way. So that's kind of, kind of how I price it mainly is how long it's going to take me.
Gotcha. I remember, so when I was in college, I detailed at a Ford dealership, just wash the cars, clean them up or whatever. And this one guy brought a car in. The salesman had told him, hey, you can bring it back and we'll detail the car the first time for free if you buy this car or whatever. So this guy rolls up with the absolutely most trashed vehicle I had ever seen in my life. I mean, it was like probably 2 inches thick of dirt just in the back seat. And I went and cussed the salesman out. I was like, why did you do this to me? I was like, you got to give me a tip for this or something.
Yeah.
But I'm telling you, it was like, I thought I was going to catch like a disease or something in that guy's car.
Yeah.
Got it done, but it was not fun.
I mean, yeah, you get those that are just that bad. And sometimes if they'll pay for what it takes to get it back to before, then it's actually kind of fun at times because you kind of see that transformation. But it's a lot of work.
Yeah. That guy knew he was getting it for free, so he just trashed his vehicle.
Yeah, I love people like that. Oh, I mean, I do vehicles at a landfill.
In a landfill?
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
Some of their work trucks. And
okay.
And surprisingly, some of those are the easier ones to do because they have the rubber mats.
You just wash them out?
I mean, not really wash them out. They're just easier to get off the rubber mats.
Gotcha.
And then I have stuff that keeps kind of a little bit of protecting, but it gives it back a black, deep shine to it, like a dull shine to it, but it's not slippery. So a lot of stuff you go to the auto parts store and buy, and it's like, oh yeah, you can put on your trim, put on your floor mat, stuff like that. You get in, you're about to fall. It's like you're going to slip and break something as soon as you try to get in your vehicle.
Yeah. So this thing doesn't do that. It dries.
It dries and it gives it that deep finish. And then it's like, I call it the sauce for WeatherTechs. WeatherTechs are hard to keep clean.
Yeah.
They're the WeatherTech floor mats. So
tell me about the worst car that you had or vehicle come in and you had to, and how long did it take?
How long did it take? There's a couple. I would say my worst one was the one with the milk.
The milk?
Yeah, that was pretty bad. That one took me 8 hours at least.
Really? 8 hours to get the milk out? Well, plus everything else.
Plus everything else. And a lot, and that was kind of when I was first starting. And so I've changed a lot of my process and kind of fine-tuned stuff to see.
Just make sure you don't do cars with spilt milk.
Yeah, that or, I mean, I just fine-tune my process of how I do things, finding better ways to do stuff to make myself more effective, more efficient, and make my life easier.
Gotcha.
So
you're mobile also, correct? So
that's my main, I'm mainly mobile.
Gotcha.
I really don't take anything in my house. I did when I first started before I got my trailer. I had a couple cars come to my house. Of course, the county said, "Oh, well, you live in a neighborhood, you can't
be running
run a business out of your house." I'm like, and that was when I got a business license. Lord love my mother-in-law. She works for a different county than we live in and does business license. She goes, "You need to go get it. You got to go get the one with the county. You got to get the one with the county." Okay,
and
get
then
there.
They know that you're running a business, and then you got to pay taxes.
Yeah, and then they're like, "Well, what are you doing there?" I'm like, "Well, I may bring a vehicle over there every so often. You can't do that." Then they almost told me I can't keep my 7x16 trailer there, and I'm like, and I was like, explained it to them. They're like, "Oh yeah, you're good. You're good." I'm like, I don't know what I'm gonna do if I have to put this somewhere else.
Yeah. So the moral of the story is don't get the government involved. Don't even tell them you're operating a business.
Yeah.
Just kidding.
Yeah.
Don't listen to that. Not legal advice.
That.
Okay, so what do you have in your trailer?
So I tried to make when I first started, I would go to people's houses and I would use their electricity. I would ask them to use their water. And for me, I didn't like that. Most people, they could care less if you plug into their house, if you use their water or anything like that. So when I built this trailer, I wanted to make it its own thing where when I pulled up, I could go anywhere.
Gotcha.
So
you're not using their utilities.
I have my own generator. I carry 225 gallons of water. So that'll last me. If I'm doing a lot of dirty vehicles or big vehicles, I can use that up a little over half a day. But
wow,
I haven't really ran into the situation where I've totally ran out in a day. I'm like, oh, I'm out of water. How did I do that? But 225 gallons I have now lasts me pretty much full day. I'm gonna show off a little bit. So I went in and put the garage floor flake floors in there. So it's red, black, and white across the floor. It's got lights that go around the whole trailer, and you can change the colors on them. It's a showpiece.
Sweet.
So I set it up that way.
Is that for branding purposes?
Branding, yeah, branding. I want to make it where, and I've done it before, where I literally go do a vehicle at the landfill, leave, go do a car show. and be very minimal cleanup, and it still look good.
Nice.
And it works. It's kind of separated up. The front, the back, how you look at it, the back of the trailer where the back doors are, that's more the showpiece. That's where I keep a toolbox. It looks good. I've got, a big banner across the back of the wall. It's wood wall. I've got my bottles. All my reels come off of there. That's more of your showpiece. And then when you go into the side, that's where your water tanks are, your pressure washer, everything is. So that's kind of where I count my storage is towards the front of the trailer.
Okay. You didn't have the trailer when you started though, did you?
I did not.
Okay.
I special ordered that trailer.
Yeah. So. How much, what were the startup costs when you started this business?
When I first started, it really wasn't much. When it was just going to somebody's house and using their electricity, their water, it was really just supplies. Mm-hmm. It was, I had a bunch of stuff at the house. And that's what I used to help learn. Because I had been doing vehicles off and on for 10 years of friends of mine, people I know, family, stuff like that. So I had an array of products already. So really the startup cost wasn't much. It was when I got into that trailer.
Okay. Tell me about the trailer.
So,
you already told me a little bit, but how much did it cost you to outfit that thing?
Totally outfit, I would say probably rough number, $15,000.
Okay.
So
it's not cheap.
It's not cheap. I special ordered the trailer. I tried to find, that was the biggest expense of it. That was $6,800. Yeah, $6,800. But I found out that I could drive to South Georgia, special order the trailer, have it in 2 weeks done, and then go back there and pick it up and save $1,000 to $1,500 from the get-go because they built them down there. Okay. So I'm not paying the expense of them, somebody else having to go down there and get it, bring it back to a dealership up here when I can just drive 4 hours and pick the trailer up.
Yourself.
Mm-hmm. And I was able to customize it more with them because I was pretty much working almost with the manufacturer. It was a dealer, but I worked pretty much with the manufacturer. So there was different things like I have a generator door on mine. So a lot of trailers you can get a generator door on them, but they slide out like, your driver or passenger side. And that kept, if we're in a tight area, you have this now, you have a 7-foot wide trailer now sticking out even further, almost 10 feet wide with the generator sliding out. Yeah. And they're like, well, why don't you put it out the front? What do you mean the front? And you look at this trailer and on the front nose of it, there's a door. They actually put the door there. And so when it slides out, it doesn't stick out any further than the truck and trailer do. And that was something that going down there and customizing it with them helped me out and their knowledge on, hey, we can do this and it make your life easier.
And what was the company that customized that trailer?
So the company I used was Hermes Cargo. They're in Douglas, Georgia. The manufacturer, there's so many manufacturers down there and they use different ones. I can't remember the manufacturer right offhand, but Hermes Cargo, that was the company, the dealer.
You were very happy with that company?
Oh yeah, very happy. They made my life easy. They're so down in Douglas and Fitzgerald, Georgia, there's probably, I would say 10, 15 manufacturers. That's what seems to be the main source of income down there is trailers.
That's the industry?
That's the industry down there. And there's probably 30 dealers down there that you can go to. So I spent a day, I've looked online and just kept looking. I was like, I originally started talking to Hermes and then I went and found these other companies. I was like, well, I said, you know what? Let me just drive down there. So I took a day, drove down there and went and met with them. I went to each one and started out with Hermes. No, actually I started out with a different one that I was pretty much, I'm going to buy this trailer from them. Yeah. Got there, did not see what I liked. Went to another one. And just kept going back to these different ones, ended up back at Hermes because their customer service, how they treated you, and everything like that. That was like, yeah, I'm going with them.
Is customer service a big deal?
That's a huge deal for me.
How do you approach customer service for your clients?
So that I try to make that kind of a priority.
Because you're a service business.
Yeah, service. So I try to make it more of a friendship. There's customers I have that we talk more than some of the friends I have. We sit there and we'll text just randomly about totally different stuff. So I try to make it a friendship almost to an extent. Because when I started this, I wanted it to be, it's almost like a second job for me, but I wanted it to be almost like a hobby for me. So with that, I wanted to build the relationship with these customers because at the end of the day, they're going to refer you to somebody else.
Yeah.
And then those people will refer you. So if you have those friendships, that great customer service with somebody, you can sit down later on in life and track or how that went. And I've got customers now that I can track. How did I get this customer? And I track it back to, other customers and things like that.
That's pretty cool.
So
we're
that's
both in like the service industry, and I think relationships are super important.
That's a huge thing.
I mean, you can't do this type of business, any sort of service industry business, without building those relationships and providing good customer service on top of a good, product and service.
And there's people I've used for different stuff that I've spent more because of better customer service.
What do you mean by that?
You get something done at your house, you get it priced out. You have 2-3 companies give you a price, and one's higher, and you're like, okay, well, I'm thinking they're higher, but this guy's cheaper. But which one did I have better customer service with? Which one did I feel like I had more of a connection with? And I felt like throughout the project it's going to treat me better.
Yeah.
That kind of thing. So, I mean, I'll personally will spend more money on something if I know the customer service is there and I know I'm going to get treated right, and I'm not having somebody that's going to scam me.
Yeah. It's not just a one-time transactional type thing.
Mm-hmm.
Do you see yourself and your business as more of a premium sort of service because of that customer service that you do?
I try to make it that.
And you have a $15,000 trailer outfitted with all the bells and whistles.
That's partly my own fault for being a show off with stuff. But I try to make myself presentable as like a premium.
Yeah.
But I also want to appease the average person. Mm-hmm. There's a lot of people who, when they get into detailing, they want to get into those high end
and Bugattis. And
yes. And I mean,
there's a ton around.
Yeah, there's a ton around, but a lot of people, that's what their goal is. They want to do just that.
Yeah.
But I'm like, okay, the average person needs something as well.
Yeah.
So I try to find that middle line of an area. You do a lot of if you get a lot of this horrible vehicles that after a while you can get burnt out on. Mm-hmm. It's a lot. Yeah. And so a lot of times sometimes you tell people it's just not worth it. Yeah. I had a conversation with somebody the other day, and his family member had an old truck, and they've been trying to fix it up a little bit. It wasn't old enough like an antique, but it was like an early 2000s truck. And they were trying to fix it up so somebody could drive. Mm-hmm. And they were starting to realize how much stuff was costing. It's like, is it really worth it? Yeah. And at some point it's not. Yep. And you want to be upfront and honest with the customer, but hey, this may not be worth it. This may not be your best option. So the honesty thing is something I definitely strive for.
Yeah. That's really important in business, especially our service industry. Yes.
It's honesty. And I'm not the best at finances, personally. So but money can be tight at times. And so I try to relate with people with that. And I'm like, hey, I understand money may be tight right now. We can do this and be a little bit cheaper, try to be understanding, or try to give them the best advice. Sometimes I may not be the best thing for them. It may be, something else.
How'd you get into this business? How'd you get it started?
So I say back in high school, I enjoyed keeping my vehicle clean. I had a newer vehicle, and
what'd you have?
I had, which one? I started out with like a old raggedy Jackson EMC truck. It was a 2000 Ford Ranger.
Okay.
And we got it off the auction at Jackson EMC, and it's a great truck. And then I had a 2010 Ranger that I, to this day, regret getting rid of. That was like one of the last years they made the old Rangers like that. And really? To this day, I regret getting rid of it because I would be a great little runaround truck. Uh-huh. And then in high school, I had the second Ranger, and I had a Dodge Ram 1500. It was a 2-door. It was when Dodge was selling them for cheap. You could buy them you buy a brand new truck for $17,000-$18,000. Wow. And so I had that, and I kept it clean. I tried my best to keep it clean. Everybody's like, you're going to clean the paint off of it. So I did that. And then I got into doing people's vehicles a little bit, in high school. I had my own lawn care business in high school. Okay. So I did that, but also enjoyed cleaning vehicles. And so I would bring people's vehicles to my parents' house and clean them for them. And then even after I started the fire department and doing other side jobs for working with other people, they had their trucks and they were dirty, and I was always the person who kept it clean. So that was something I've always done. I'll be the first one to admit that my lawn care business in high school, I won't say failed drastically. I was not smart by it. And so my dad quickly reminds me of that all the time.
Well, We'll stop right there. What lessons did you learn from that experience about
managing money? Big thing. I mean, I was young and dumb and blew everything. I mean,
just spending it on.
I mean, I wanted to make money to buy me stuff.
Yeah.
And not learning how to
put it back in the business.
Grow the business. So my parents helped me out a lot, and they lost a lot.
Yeah.
I say a lot. They lost some, and that was one of the things that I had to live with. And I got, after I joined the fire department, I got out of it and started just working for other people. I was like, this is so much easier just working for somebody else at that time. So when I started this, my dad quickly reminded me, and if he sees this, he's going to laugh at me. He'd probably get mad at me for saying it, but he quickly reminded me of how that was.
Yeah.
He's seen that. And I had to remind him, hey, I'm a little bit older now, I've learned a lot. And, at first he was still nervous. And he's going to get mad at me for saying this as well. But I had to tell him, I'm going to prove you wrong.
Yeah.
And that was probably my biggest drive to make this successful was my dad. And saying, hey, I'm going to prove you wrong. Not in a mean way saying it, but he's my father. He's trying to make him
proud, right?
Yeah, I want to make him proud, but he's going to be my biggest doubter, but he's going to be my biggest supporter.
Yeah.
And so I told him, I was like, hey, I'm going to prove you wrong. And there's been a few times he come here and goes, I think you're starting to prove me wrong. He may not say it that way, but I mean, and
that's what I was going to ask you. What does he think about it now?
I think he's proud of my dad's very quiet. He doesn't, he's a man of little words. But I would think he thinks he's proud of it now. I mean, he sees it growing, and he sees how busy I am and stuff like that. So he's all the time asking how things going. What are you doing now? Where are you at now? And stuff like that. So
awesome.
And not, I think it's nice for him because in high school doing lawn care business, he had to help me out so much, and he did my taxes then. My dad's an accountant, and he had to do my taxes then, and he hated it.
Yeah.
So now that he don't have to do anything with it, he thought, I think at first, that I was going to have to rely on him on that. And I'm like, I'm going to do this, we're going to do this on our own, and start this.
Cool.
So.
All right. So you work at the fire department, and you've got this business going too. Do you have anybody working for you, or is it just yourself?
I made my wife work with me for a little bit. She's really good, and she's really good at the detail part. Get her speed up a little bit, but I mean, overall she's good. So she helped me out for a little while, but I think, if I have something big come up, I'll get her to come help me. I've looked at getting somebody else to come help me. The nice thing with at least being in the fire department is everybody else I know has somewhat of the same schedule. So their days off are either lining up, but they have 2 days off, but they have a sole income already. So having somebody that I think it would fit me better to have somebody that just needs a little small part-time job, make a little extra money to come help me when I need it. Because, when I'm at the fire department, there's nobody running it. I mean, there's nobody out and about working. And I just hadn't got to that point yet. So I think, that was probably one of my goals for this year was to have somebody somewhat come on part-time, have a couple people, when I needed somebody come help me. I just, I'm not to the point to say, hey, I need somebody full-time all the time. Could I make it? I can make it work. I can make the business come in, the work come in, but it's the pace of, I want it to grow. I don't want it to be where it's just I don't want it to be a quantity thing. I want to make sure we're giving quality results.
Good quality service. Yeah. That's really important when you're scaling up a service business. How do you maintain that level of customer service? So I think hiring the right people, getting them in that provide the same level of service that you do is crucial to that, don't you?
And that's the joke at the fire department is they're like, nobody's going to be able to work for you. You're so OCD and you like things so a certain way. I say, it's not going to work out. You're not going to be able to hire anybody.
Yeah.
Nobody's going to be able to fit your standard. I'm like, I will make it work. But that's always been the joke with some of the guys at work was nobody's going to meet your expectation. I'm like, well, that's probably true, but we can make it work. I can teach them.
Yeah. So, got to train them up.
Yep.
Somebody out there.
Yep. Somebody.
Is it difficult to, I guess, have the job at the fire department and run this as well?
Yeah, that is probably one of my biggest challenges.
What's the struggle there?
The time, the scheduling. I mean, I'm 24 on, 48 off.
Okay.
So, there's weeks. So it kind of goes, look at the 3-week block. 2 of those weeks I have 3 days, and 1 of those weeks I have 4 days off during the actual week. So, and then if I have to go take a class or something like that, like this week I was in a class beginning of the week. So my first day off from anything with the fire department has been today. So that can throw a wrench in it and trying to schedule stuff. People want stuff done sooner than later.
Yeah.
So, and I have some great customers that understand that. And most people on average understand that I have a full-time job and that this is still somewhat of a side business. It feels like there's 2 full-time jobs, but this is somewhat of a side business. So when I'm like, hey, I'm at the fire department, I got a class or I got something going on with the family, my next availability is, may be 2 weeks. And I don't like it to get that far out, but at times it happens that way.
Do you find that your clients wait for you, or do they search for something else, or do they run it through the car wash?
I would say most of my clients that I've already done work for, they're going to wait. Most of them are going to wait.
They want your service,
and that's what I try to build. And people who have referred me to certain people, most of the time, that if I'm being referred to somebody, they'll wait. And I try to squeeze it in. I try to make it work. I try to work with the customer. Hey, when do you need it by?
Yeah.
And I have some customers that are great that, hey, I have somebody that needs it a little bit sooner. Some of my reoccurring clients that I have that I detail for monthly, if I have somebody that needs to fit in a little bit sooner, they're going on vacation, something like that, they want to get the car cleaned up, something's going on, they'll allow me to adjust their day to have this person come in. So the scheduling between the fire department with the kids and then doing this it can be rough. Yes, it can be rough.
Do you get any days off?
Let's see. I haven't had a day. We went on vacation beginning of the month, and when we got back from vacation, I haven't had a day off since. So that was the beginning of the month. So no, not really.
So you're hustling.
Trying to. I try to focus on spending time with the kids. That's a struggle already. Being at the fire department is time away from family, and then having something on top of it. I'm also one of those people that I want to make it work for somebody. So I'm bad about, hey, I gotta have this Sunday open. My wife's on the ambulance already that day. Somebody will have the kids. So I'm already, let's just do it on the weekend. And so it ends up being where I'm working almost every day. But that's definitely a struggle.
And you mentioned for word of mouth marketing, a lot of referrals. Is that where you get most of your clients, or is there any other marketing that you guys do?
I would say most of my clients come from referrals. Okay. Most of them, just building that customer service, and then they pass along. I would just probably say a good 75% of it does come from referrals. So-and-so told me to call you, say you do good work, and you can continue to track. I mean, I've got customers who I do on a regular basis that I can track from 5 customers back to a friend of mine I went to high school with. And, it's just referred. So
that's cool. Do you have plans to scale or market, I guess, to grow the business?
We've looked a little bit into the ads on Facebook and a little bit trying to dip into that as well. So it's a lot to learn at times. Especially you look at Google ads, there's a certain way that Google and the algorithm and all that likes. My biggest thing is I try to post on social media, try to make cool videos, TikTok videos, something like that. So try to do something, maybe right now I don't need to spend the money. If it starts to get slower, I try to, I may dip into Facebook ads or something like that. But also something new we're about to try is a text service almost, is where, say you want vehicle done whenever, you've had your vehicle done before. Hey, whenever you get time, come do it. So creating a text service where I have a free opening, may have an opening for, this time slot. And I want to, send it out to a group of people who are willing to get a text message, and people who want their vehicle done. Just, if I have an open slot, I have an open slot. And whoever grabs it first to fill those empty spots.
Interesting.
So that's, I learned it from somebody who talked about, their wife going to a massage therapist. And they all the time, they're like, hey, we have open this day. And it goes like that. So pretty much where I have an opening, I send a mass text out to, a certain group of people, and whoever grabs it, grabs it. That's
interesting. I should look into that. I should send a text message to everybody like, hey, go get into a car accident.
Yeah. Don't call me.
Just kidding.
Don't text
not
me.
Legal advice. Don't
text
try
me
to get into a car accident.
Because that'll be bad luck, and that'll happen to me if you text me that. So,
okay. What made you want to start this business?
Giving my kids a little more. something to look, that pass on to them. When they get older, if they,
How old are they now?
So I have a 5-year-old and a 2-year-old.
Okay.
5-year-old boy who is my twin. Unfortunately, some days me and him butt heads. Love him to death, but me and butt heads. And then got my little angel that can do no wrong, unless you ask my wife. So, but something, when they get older, if they want to either get into it, or anything like that, they can. Trying to build that base for them.
Yeah.
My son's very intrigued by it a lot of times. If I'm getting the trailer ready or something like that, he wants to be out there. I ain't really taken him out on a job yet. He's a little bit like me. He gets a little sidetracked sometimes, and I'm afraid that I'm gonna have to spend more time chasing him around the parking lot than I am actually detailing.
Yeah.
But he'll get in there and he's helped me do my wife's car. He'll help me do my truck, stuff like that. So he's definitely taking somewhat of an interest into it. So my daughter, she's not really even talking much besides making out some weird words, but she likes getting into everything. So, but
yeah. A couple weeks ago, my boys came and asked me, could they wash my truck? And if they washed it, could they play a video game? And I was like, I don't want to, it's going to, I'm going to be out there supervising them, washing it myself the whole time. And I finally broke down after they begged me for like 45 minutes straight. And I'm like, okay, fine. They go out there and they start washing the truck. I turn around, do something else in the garage, and then turn back later 5 minutes, and the whole bottle of soap is like gone, and they're in the bed of the truck, just slipping and sliding all around there. I'm like, oh my goodness.
And that's the thing.
It's more work than it.
Yeah, but that's the thing that I try to change my mindset. I'm like, oh, how'd you make that mess? And that's a core memory for them. They'll always remember.
I didn't get mad. I was just like, oh man.
Now, if they take my 5-gallon jug of soap and pour it in the back of the truck, it might be a different story. But I'll find some little small bottle like $1 or something they can use to make a slip and slide in the yard or something like that. So
cool. What about detailing cars do you love? Do you love the process? Do you love the end product? What
I definitely like the end product.
Standing back and looking at the car, and it's like, man, I did that. That's cool.
And that's where it gets me with very dirty ones. It's a lot of work, but at the end of the day, you're looking at like, hey, I made that happen.
Transformation. Yeah.
So that I would say that's the biggest thing I enjoy is standing back at the end of it and seeing it. I take pride in a lot of my vehicles. You can go look them on TikTok, and there's multiple vehicles of the same vehicle because I like that truck so much. There's a couple customers, they know if they ever want to get rid of it or they ever feel like giving it away, who to call. I got a few trucks that I'm like, my wife's like, you've got to stop doing some of these trucks because you're going to end up buying one. Yeah. I'm like, I know I'm going to end up buying one of these trucks, and I don't need to buy one of these trucks, but I like them so much.
Well, tell me which ones you like.
I do a lot of F250s, F350s, all the, the Super Duty stuff like that. I do a lot of those, and I've got that down pretty packed on how those work and how the best way to get them cleaned up. And I'm always been a Ford person. So that is probably some of my favorites. We got a few that are really nice.
What area do you service?
So
where do you go?
I'm based out of Statham, Bexar County. Okay. And I kind of try to stay an hour from the house. So, with fuel and all that, that's kind of my...
Or with the traffic now, an hour won't get you too far.
I know. Yeah, it gets me about up here. That's about it. No, I go to Buford, kind of up towards 985 a little bit. I actually go up there quite a bit for a reoccurring client. So if I have reoccurring clients that I go out there, I'll schedule other jobs out that way. So, I try to stay an hour from the house. I'll go a little bit over that sometimes if I have other jobs out there as well.
So about an hour from Statham in any direction.
So pretty much I don't go anything past 85, 316 split. That's that's considered Atlanta to me.
Yeah.
And then the Athens area, this up into, I'll go up towards Franklin County sometimes, it all really depends, sometimes I'll go further if I have more than one job, or if it's a bigger job that at the end of the day is going to pay more, I will go a little bit further.
Gotcha. And you'll come into Jackson County over here.
Oh, I'll cover up.
So you're doing my trucks and
yeah. Okay. Let me know. Perfect. I'm right down the road.
All right. How can people find you? You mentioned TikTok. You're on TikTok. What's your TikTok handle?
So the way TikTok is, I had to do it a little bit separate. I think it's NEGA Detailing.
NEGA Detailing.
You got a phone? You got your phone on you? Nah. I'm about to say, if you tap that right there, it has all my links. Have a little dot card.
Actually, bring my phone over here, please.
It's a big thing. I don't know if you've ever had one of these.
I don't know what that is.
It's the dot card, pretty much.
I have no idea.
So
you don't want to get on camera? So how do I do this?
So if you just tap your phone right here for a second, up at the very top, should go off.
Okay.
And then you'll hit that. And it'll go almost to like a little link tree.
Sweet.
And then it has all of our socials, everything like that.
Leah, you need to get me one of these dot cards.
Get them on Amazon for like $30, and the page is free. So super easy.
Okay, TikTok, Northeast GA Detailing.
Yep. Or even if you search up Northeast Georgia Detailing, it'll come up.
Instagram, Northeast Georgia Detailing.
Mm-hmm.
Website, northeastgeorgiadetailing.com. I love how it's all the same.
And that was a big thing.
Jeremy at northeastgeorgiadetailing.com. Phone number, 706-424-1434.
Mm-hmm.
Anything else? You want me to put your cell phone out here?
It's on there. Well, actually, if you go look at my trailer right now, it's still my personal phone. I got a business phone probably a week ago to try to keep everything separate so I could, when I'm with the kids, I can kind of turn it off.
Very good.
But you've talked about the everything being the company name. That was a big thing from the start.
Yeah.
I wanted to almost sell the brand. So that was something I learned from. I'll shout him out. Our fire chief, when we first rebranded all the fire department, he was like, "You want to sell the brand," and he said that, and I stuck with it.
Wait, he's about rebranding the fire department?
So we got new logos for the fire department, and to get our name out there, to get the public to know who we were, And
the public didn't know who
they know who the fire department is, but seeing us, our presence more.
Okay.
So that was a big thing. He's like, pretty much sell the brand.
I'm tracking you.
And he always said, I want people to buy our shirts. And, he's like, I want to get to the point where people want to buy this stuff.
Nice.
And he's a business-minded person, so he's really good. And he said that. And
we need more business-minded people in the government.
It does
Running
good.
services like
it does good.
Cool. So you wanted to build this company with in mind to sell it at some point.
I want to say that. I'm more like, when I say sell the brand, make you want pretty much merch, makes you want a shirt, make you want a sticker, makes you want to wear it. Okay. Where I walk into somewhere and somebody recognizes it. That's what I mean by selling the brand.
I hear you.
I want, I walked into a place the other day and like, hey, I like your logo. I seen it the other day on TikTok or something like that. And that's what I mean by selling the brand.
So is that the red and the black is sort of like UGA, maybe?
Yeah, but it's the colors of this area for the most part. So, and I like this color. So that's kind of what we stuck with.
Well, I like it. How can people find you? I know I just mentioned some of it. What's the preferred method? You
can call, text me on my business line, the 706-424-1434. Messages on Facebook, Instagram, TikTok. You can go to our website, really any way. It'll notify my phone, whatever way you prefer, really.
Sweet. And it's Northeast Georgia Detailing, Jeremy Mixon. Thank you for being on the podcast. I really appreciate it.
Thank you.
Good luck with the business.
Thank you.
Awesome. Thank you, man.